How we doing, good people? And welcome to Montez at Midday. I'm your host, Dre Montez. Do apologize for the late start today, but when things happen that you're not in control of, it kind of like gets us frustrated. I'm always talking about things we can't control, getting over the hump, and still keep it pushing. But this has been one of those mornings. It's been a trying morning. It definitely has. But again, I apologize for the late start. We're set up in our new studio as we're putting the finishing touches on it. Should be done hopefully this week, but we have a lot of things going on. So hopefully we'll get it taken care of. Well, welcome to Montez at Midday. We're being brought to you by our title sponsor, the Weed Squad. Feel free to visit them at 8088 Watson Road as we're getting closer and closer to 420. So make your plans today. And to find out a little bit more about them and other sponsors of the show, feel free to visit www.dremontez.com. High fives, chest bump. Let's hug it out. There we go. We can hug it out just a little bit right there. We can hug it out right there. Just a little bit. If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. By the way, birthday shout out to high school classmate Rudy McFarland. Happy birthday to you. State wrestling champ, truck driver of the universe, in the eyes in high school that nobody could figure out. My man, 18 Wheels of Justice on the interstate. Thanks for listening, man. Honk, honk. You have an anniversary today. Happy anniversary to you. Anything you're celebrating today, congratulations. You deserve it. Get outside, go on the patio, enjoy this beautiful, wonderful weather that we have. Don't listen to the weatherman, believe your own instincts, and get out there. It is sundress season. It's definitely upon us. Hope everyone had a great Easter weekend and a great Easter Sunday. Because Easter changes as you get older. When you're a kid, it's about your face shining, your haircut, your pretty dress, your suit, your clothes you have on. As you get older, it's about what's going on after church, what we getting into. And then all of a sudden, when you get real grown, Easter has a party night. You ever been out on an Easter Sunday night? Yeah. A whole lot of people out celebrating because they've been locked up doing Lent. Now they letting out them inner demons and getting out there with the people. So glad everyone had a great Easter weekend, considering by all the social media feeds and people that I follow, it seems as though it went very well. So glad everyone had a happy and great Easter out there. But how's your bracket doing on this motivational Mamba mentality Monday? How is your bracket doing, men's and women? I tell you, the reason I'm drinking Gatorade is because of all the college basketball I've just watched in the past 2 weeks. This is the first time ever I did not go to a bar, restaurant, or a friend's house to watch any of the college basketball games, the women's bracket, nor the men. Watched them all in the privacy of my own home, and I learned a valuable lesson. I didn't do that shit more often. When you can control the TVs, the volume, the food, the entertainment, it's something unthinkable and unimaginable. So, unthinkable. I guess I came up with this phrase by listening to all the catchphrases the past 2 weeks about this tournament. What to expect, what not to expect, the underdog. So in everyday life, I think we all have been challenged with what's going to happen once the day gets started. How many people are doubting you? Are you going to pull off this deal? Are you going to close that job? Are you going to get the house you want, the car you want? When it comes down to negotiations and you come out on top, or competitive nature and you come out on top, and you turn around and look at the progress you went through. Whether you tried this before and you failed it several times, but now you've gotten over that hump, it becomes the unthinkable, the unimaginable. And when you try to piece it together, sometimes it's real easy to come up with the answers. Sometimes it's real easy to come up with the equation. But a lot of times we try to overthink what we just went through instead of just dealing with the unthinkable and the unimaginable. But it happens out there. It really does. And we saw it. If you don't believe me, take a look at your bracket. Things happen that no one foresaw. Maybe it's the pandemic. Maybe it's the lack of being around a whole lot of people. Made you concentrate a little bit more. Made you really focus on the ultimate goal. The actual meaning of teamwork, sportsmanship. You kept hearing them use this phrase over the tournaments. In the women's bracket, we can play. And you heard a lot of the men's tournament teams saying this, play with joy. I like the way both of those are sounding right there. To play with joy and to also, we can play. Because it is that time again where everyone wants to get outside and prove they still got it, want to still have it, and still just for the love of the game and the love of competition, want to be out there. But to be in that realm of the conversation of unthinkable, unimaginable, has to be something pretty special. Even from a business standpoint. I was thinking about a young business owner. I don't want to share his name or his ventures because I haven't spoken with him about it. I don't know if everyone knows his true story, or even if he wants to share it. But I know very few people personally that I know for a fact who started out with nothing. What I mean, they didn't have anything but the clothes on their back, maybe a studio apartment, sleeping on the couch, no real furniture, didn't have a car, was making it around the best way he could. Picked up odd jobs as best as he could. Didn't really ask for money, didn't really ask for handouts, but put his feet to the ground, hunkered down. Lo and behold, 24 years later, this young man is a very, very successful local business entrepreneur here in the St. Louis region and recently just crossed over into the Illinois region. And I recently talked with him right before, I want to say the new year, right before the new year we spoke. And I was telling him how proud I am, and he's still moving forward. How proud I am of him. And still moving forward considering everything that has happened behind the scenes to business people that are trying to move forward. And that have still paved that way to still put that sign and say open for business, considering what has happened in the past 18 to 24 months. It's been something else, an ordeal, not just for the working class, but for the people that are trying to open up new doors and the people that are trying to keep doors open and extend their business. It's been an ordeal for them as well. Speaking of ordeals, what a morning we have had, but we got over it and we're here. I think my bracket is fine. My women's team is out, South Carolina. My men's team is still in it. Gonzaga, they're still in it right there for sure. We're going to take a small little break and I'm going to come back and I got something to tell you about what's happening in movies and television again. Be right back.
Mountain Man Screw. As smooth as a river flows. MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on.
MountainManScrub.com. Get your scrub on today. Use DRE in the promo for instant savings right away. There's several ways you can follow us on our social media platforms. We have a page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. On Facebook, we have a page, Who's to Blame? Instagram, Who's to Blame the Podcast. Twitter at W2B Dre Montez. And on YouTube, we have a live streaming channel as well, Dre Montez, where we share Montez at midday, as well as various video game occurrences that happen throughout our NBA 2K adventures that I'm having with Man Cave member Mac and Jay. But it's been a lot of fun. And don't forget to visit the website, www.dremontez.com. All kind of ways to get caught up, especially on my last podcast episode. It's a preview of the Major League Baseball 2021 season. And so far, I don't think I've been shocked and amazed, but I'm just wowed by the enthusiasm of the fans and the players seeing each other again throughout these Major League Baseball ballparks. The way we all played opening day the same day, that was pretty cool. Seeing different opening day celebrations, how happy the players seem to be when they make a big play and there's actually cheering in the stadium as opposed to this fake audio sounds. But it's been real nice. I like the tension that the Cardinals and the Reds seem to continue. I don't know about you, but anytime I watch the Cardinals and the Reds play baseball and they get into it, I'm standing up to it. I'm looking for something to grab. If I'm at the game, I'm running toward the field. True story. Ever since that fight broke out with Brandon Phillips, I don't like the Cincinnati Reds at all. Don't care for them. Don't care for them at all. But I'm kind of with O'Bauer talking about if fighting was in Major League Baseball, allowed in Major League Baseball, as it is in NHL hockey, would that make you watch more? Would that make you shake your head? You be the judge. How you be the judge? Back here, Jerry Montez at midday, and I've been taking notice to something that is driving me insane that has taken place. Movies, television, even TV commercials are getting into it. What I mean by that, in the movies, there's always somebody with a cell phone on a TV with a cell phone in a commercial. And they're doing something on the phone that we need to know in the movies. So what they do, they put the camera on the phone. Lower vision people, raise your hand. Can we read that? No. The more and more movies and television and commercials are doing this, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. The kid from Kumar, them go to White Castles. He did a movie where he lost his daughter, and the only way he could find her was through social media. The whole fucking movie was on the cell phone. Godzilla, King Kong, there were scenes in that movie on the cell phone. Come on. Why? If we're trying to get the cell phone out of the kids' hands and get more communication going with the families around the dinner time and concentrate more on your job, why are they constantly putting cell phone relevance, texting, and emails and emojis in the damn movie? I just don't get it. I mean, it's to the point where I'm watching another movie, and maybe out of the 42 minutes the show is on, 18 of it is text messages I have to read. So I got to pause the TV. I got to get this close to the TV to see what's going on. Why? And then when you get done reading all that, did I really need to know that? Did I really need to know that? I mean, really. If you take a teenager's phone right now, just snatch it out their damn hand and read it. They're not talking about nothing. It's pertaining to what's going on. So why are they putting it in the movies? Why? I ask you, why? It's like when a woman is trying to get your opinion on what she has on, and you're her friend. I'm telling you, our friends haven't slept together, but she has no bra on, just her panties, and want to know. Give my honest opinion. How these shoes look? What? And don't look at my body. What? Just stick your foot out the door. Then how about that? If you're gonna do that to people, I want to see a man go up to his female best friend. Just put some underwear on and say, look, I'm wearing this suit today, but how these underwear make me look? Come on now. Come on. Really? It's 2021. And for a minute, I thought the creativity was going to a place I felt very, very comfortable about. Speaking of feeling comfortable about, it was very rewarding and refreshing. Again, when things happen we can't control, we just have to roll with the punches. And something happened Saturday that was way out of control with me, so I had to deal with the punches and enjoy watching softball through social media. You guys are horrible at updating the games. The camera be sideways, be on the ground. How about y'all just get the scores? Don't try to show what's going on at the field. The people in the background telling you personal business. No, I ain't going over her house tonight. No, she tripping. She cussed my daughter out. We're trying to watch a softball game. Well, congratulations to the teams that participated this past weekend at the PSA Early Bird Tournament out at Bell Fountain Park. I got a chance to see a few of the updates. I had to turn the phone this way and turn it that way and block out the noise. It was kind of windy. But congratulations to Takeover. I believe. I think Takeover did business. I believe they won it. All right, way to go. Way to go. I couldn't understand the other. I don't know if it was congratulating to the team for coming all the way to St. Louis. Or did the Mike and team, Mike and franchise win it? I'm confused. But Mike and franchise and Takeover. Congratulations to both of you. It smelled like softball, Sarah. I don't know about you. I got a kick out of the odor that was in the air. All right. We just tuned in. We just tuned up. We talked about the unthinkable. They call it the Cinderella has a slipper in basketball in college sports. Well, I can't believe that happened of a Hail Mary. But for the people that are involved, it really does make you think of that phrase, unthinkable. And we also talked about what's going on in Hollywood and television and movies. There's too much text messaging on the phone. I can't take it. I can't take it. They're going too far. I gotta read too much to watch. I gotta read the subtitles. Okay. Now I gotta read what you're typing in the phone that has nothing to do about the scene that's going on or that's coming up or that's relevant to the outcome of the movie. Mm-hmm. I mentioned this to the Man Cave members and to you guys on my podcast. I really do believe that NBA TNT's pregame show has pushed other sporting shows to do better in their pregame show. And it had me paying attention to Charles Barkley this weekend. Charles Barkley is a very comical guy. I had the pleasure of walking by Charles Barkley when I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he was at the same steakhouse that we were at one day, my buddies and I, and he bought us not a round, he bought us something that was t-shirts at the place. He bought the whole table t-shirts that was at the place. And it was kind of comical, the way he did and the way it was all brought about. But anyway, about Charles Barkley. The way he talks is interesting to me because he doesn't talk like the ideal person. The way he comes about to get his point across, his debate across, his fact across, or his mic drop. So we all know his speech is not the best. His vernacular is not the best. His enunciation is not the best. But damn it, he does a hell of a job. And he has image to prove it. But on Saturday and Sunday, this man just he doesn't do the social media game. So they read back to him what people are saying on Twitter. And he's made some mistakes. When you're talking real fast, you're going to screw up. Especially when you get really excited and animated, which Charles Barkley does. So he read back one of the tweets said, Charles Barkley can't talk. He said, I tell you what, when I go to the bank, they know who I am. And they better stand up. They better stand up when I go to the bank. That is one guy I think most people don't want to get into it. But I'm not talking about causing you physical harm, anything like that. But Charles Barkley always brings up his money, his lifestyle, and what he did in the sports world and what he's doing now. Those four things are going to come out of his mouth. If you can get past that, I bet it's a comical time. But Charles Barkley is just something else. And the way people feel about him now as opposed to his college days at Bama, Auburn, his NBA playing days, and now being an analyst and a commentator and contributing to various sports has been very interesting. How the level and the fame that he has achieved, and it's still going up, 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 and up, because he's doing a hell of a job. The way that Interesting Mix gets together on TNT and brings to us in our living room and bars, where most bars callers can't hear what they're talking about because it's illegal to turn the volume up unless there's a game on. But other than that, I applaud Charles Barkley for still having the banter, the professionalism, and the integrity to still make us laugh while still throwing shade at people. If you're not watching this guy, what he said about Houston and Baylor at halftime, he said if you're so Charles, if you're the coach right now of Houston, what are you telling your guys at halftime? What time we leaving tomorrow? He said, Ernie, ain't no way that team coming back. They barely scored 20 points in the first half. Not most commentators and game analysts are going to say that, but that's Charles Barkley. And if you're in your home, you were probably saying the same thing. Yeah, ain't no way in hell this team coming back. Some things we know. The things we should be truthful about, especially to the kids and those middle-aged people in your house and people that think they run everything called teenagers, I think it's more real and direct to go right at the problem instead of beating around the bush. You tell it like your TI is, I guarantee you won't have no problems at all. Think about no problems. Did anyone see the entertainment they've been giving us in college sports in Indianapolis, trying to keep us glued into the TV, giving us facts, giving us information, making us more knowledgeable about the game, not just on the court when it comes to today's collegiate athlete, but as well what's going on after the fact. All of these young women and young men are not going to the professional leagues here in the United States or overseas. Some of these young men and women are actually going into a career, things they have lined up. This was just some shit to get me through to college. I'm sorry I did well at it, but this is it. The buck stops here. I like how they show that to us. But I really got a kick out of the entertainment they gave us. And it took me a minute. You ever see something on TV and you're not quite sure what you saw? Well, that was me. I had the big TV was on. Now, all of them were on. But I heard a voice. But the voice didn't meet up with the person I was seeing with the song. Wait a minute. That's not Blondie. That's Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus shocked me with her performance yesterday in Indianapolis for the women before the championship game. It was like a little pregame ceremony they had going on. Wow. Wow. I knew she was talented. Most trouble artists that everyone hate on or work on or make fun of really are pretty talented. But they just crossed into a barrier where we forget about the talent because all the bullshit has been put in front of us. But when they hunker down to it, you're like, wait a minute. The girl can sing. It's like, all kidding aside, say what you will about Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, and my girl Britney Spears. When it all boils down to it, them three can sing. They just a little touched, little money, little fame, getting some little ass, sleeping with this person will kind of put you out of mind, out of body, out of sound, out of sight when it comes to certain situations. I think that's what happened to all of them. But just the talent itself, she had some pipes, she did a good performance, not gonna lie. I was really impressed by what I saw with Miley Cyrus at the NCAA concert, I want to call it. They basically gave you a free concert. Like the Super Bowl did a few years ago when it was an all-female cast. That was a free entertainment. That was free entertainment concert. Got a lot of bang for your buck. Say that one more time. The non-conventional way to get a job is happening more and more and more and more and more and more by people that have never done this before. They're overseers, foreseers. They sit back and pay attention. They are what I like to call armchair players. Think about the armchair quarterback. We all have a friend like this, never played the game in their life, but they sit right there in that recliner watching football, telling you everything that's right and wrong with the quarterback. And you turn around and say to them, have you ever played football? And they say no. Can you do what they're doing? No. But I can tell you what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. There's some people that have that capability. Major League Baseball. Bill James, Moneyball, never played, but had an eye. There are people that write music that can never play an instrument. Never. There are people in the music industry that can't sing a lick, but have been a part of some great hits, great collaborations. In basketball, there are people that have a view. It's all about science and math. It's about the STEM. And some people have that vision. And I think, not just in the video game world, not just in the NFL, not just in Major League Baseball, I think there are going to be more and more careers available to the armchair player. The people that just sit back and analyze things in a way that no one has the time to put into it. I saw something very interesting on Dateline. Not just on cold cases, but there's a new index, so to speak, on the cold case files when it comes to law enforcement. You know, that costs money to put into a cold case to investigate things and resources. And a lot of police departments don't have that. So you have these online people that have formed their own investigative group that have actually solved some crimes and helped put to rest some of these cold cases. And they put it the best term and phrase I've ever heard. We have the time and the expertise that a lot of the older detectives don't have. And that comes with that technology, the tech world that all older police officers and law enforcement people are afraid of. The young gurus coming in, the law enforcement don't believe in them enough to invest in them. So it's taken an interesting twist. Thank you, Dateline in 2020, that exposed this to me on the armchair fascination of the world of employment. If you can look at sports all day with the volume down and predict the lineup, the pitching rotation, do things that normal people can't do just from watching the game, I think you're selling yourself short. You should sell your expertise to a major league ball club, a minor league system, a college, a high school. Someone can use what you think deem is useless, unnecessary knowledge. Everything you know and everything you have done to do what you enjoy and are passionate about, I'm quite sure it's very unique, and not a lot of people have the ability to do that. And if you can do it in a timely manner where people can understand it, I think people have the ability to go further and further in this. Look how far the gaming world has come. Look how many of these kids, ages 12 to 16, that nobody talking about, that's getting paid by these big tech companies. But you can't pay the college athlete. Okay. Okay. It's different out there for everybody. But I'm amazed at the progress of the armchair players right there. Mm-mm-mm. A little late start today, but thank you guys for tuning in to Montez at Midday. As I mentioned before, I also host a podcast, Who's to Blame, and you can check out the latest episode of my podcast, and we're talking about some deep Major League Baseball preview of the 2021 season, and it's available wherever you listen to your podcast at. Or you can just hit the link on any of our social media platforms on Facebook, Who's to Blame, Instagram, Who's to Blame the Podcast, Twitter at W2B Dre Montez, or you can go to SoundCloud, Anchor, Spotify, Podbean, iTunes, or Google Play as well, and check out that podcast episode, or as well as any of my past podcast episodes. Well, like the SAG Awards, there's a lot of movies and TV shows I have questions. In the 27th annual SAG Awards, the Studio Actors Guild, Screen Actors Guild Award show. I've never watched The Crown. I gotta get into The Crown because this show is winning all kind of awards. I gotta watch Ma Rainey. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. Chatham Cosby. He did it again. Won another award. I gotta check it out. Gotta check it out. Congrats to Ozark. Congrats to them. congrats to them. So as I watch that, I really understand what Hollywood is trying to do through the movies they're putting out now. Hollywood is trying to tell us something that everyone has been talking about, but the only way people believe it, you see it in the movies on the internet, and that is mind-boggling to me. There's a show on HBO now about the chip implant. There's been a movie about the radio frequency detector in the people's track detector. There's been a movie about facial recognition with the mask on versus the mask off. They're attacking things as we're moving forward through Hollywood in a way I didn't see this coming. I don't know if these movies were done during the pandemic and they rushed to put them out, or was this something that was just waiting in the vault and they would say, aha, release the hounds. Let's give them something more to talk about. I want you to talk amongst yourselves. And again, thank you for tuning to today's show. Montez at midday. A little late start and some technical difficulties, but now I think all systems are a go. I don't know what you're doing for the rest of the week, but I know I'm getting ready for Cardinals on the way. Go Cards! All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. As the words of my great grandpappy, if your back pockets are touching, that means you have no ass at all. But most importantly, I want you guys to appreciate the details of the day. That's period. And no matter what, you got this. I want to thank you guys for tuning in again. Until next time. Aha!